try to tell you some stories today. When my ex-brother-in-law came out, I thought it was because the...
Could you read slowly? When people read, they go a little bit faster.
I'm sorry. When my ex-brother-in-law came out, I thought it was because the girl he had been dating started dating his best friend. She had broken his heart, and he didn't want anything to do with women anymore. This is what I thought. Little did I know it was because that he was gay, and she started dating someone else. Some family members told him that he was not welcome to come to their home anymore unless he brought a girl or came by himself. I felt bad for him, even though I didn't understand homosexuality. So I invited him and his friends to come to our house anytime. He did. And my ex-husband left with them sometimes. They went to their mother's home to play music or whatever, and I thought, this is so good that he's being supportive of him. And there weren't any women around, so I didn't have to worry. One evening, they wanted me to go with them as they were going to gay bars so that I could see and maybe understand my ex-brother-in-law's, way of life. I went, and an eye-opener it was. I saw my first drag show and loved it. I honestly felt like I needed to go home and clean up and straighten up myself. They were so gorgeous. My ex-husband was very protective of me that night, holding my hand the whole time. And I didn't know why at the time, but this was a way of letting me know about himself. Over the next few years, I could see him go into a depression and isolate himself from my children and myself. And he changed his hours so that he would sleep during the day. And anytime I asked what was wrong, he's like, oh, it's just work. And I didn't understand what was going on until I received a phone call from this woman. And she was telling me that I'd better keep my ex-husband, away from her son. She had found a card in his room, and she was actually threatening me, telling me that her brother was a police officer. I couldn't cry at the time because my children were right there. I had to be strong for them. But I did lose my voice. I guess the shock of it all, I had laryngitis. And I asked my ex-husband about the phone call, and of course he denied it. This put a strain on our marriage. I wanted to believe him, but why did the lady call? My ex-brother-in-law, who is a psychologist, suggested that we go to marriage counseling, and we both agreed that we should. It turned out that my ex-husband only had to go once with me, and I had to go to several visits, and I thought, why am I going and he's not going? He's the one with the problem. This is when I came to realize that he was gay. He couldn't tell me. I wish there would have been a Pflag back then. I couldn't tell anyone at first, and my biggest concern was our children. I knew he wouldn't tell them, so I had to. They were only 8 and 4 years old at the time. And he moved in with his brother and his brother's partner. My ex-sister-in-laws, there were 2 straight brothers and 2 gay brothers. They told me that I should not allow our children to be around him because they would end up like him. And I thought, I believe that or not. Well, I did let them around him. And when my daughter, Tanya, was about 14 or so, I started seeing things about her that made me wonder. our son, even Jeremy, he noticed that she liked to be around girls and not any boys at all. She wasn't interested in them. And I thought, like I was told, oh, she's just wanting to be like her dad, like it was a choice. I was sure I had messed up. I found a book about lesbians in her room, and I asked about it, and she said that she thought that she might be lesbian, but now she knows that she isn't. Well, that worked for a while, until I saw a girl put flowers on her car. When I asked Tanya about it, she said she didn't want to hurt me like her dad did. And I told her I just wanted her to be happy and I would be okay with it. But I would just worry about, how she was treated. When Tanya went away to college, she met someone that knew Jane's son and said that his mom was going to start a Pflag in Louisville. She gave me some phone numbers to call, and I went to their very first meeting. That was 24 years ago. Pflag has been and is a source of education and support for so many. I was reminded of this during the Pride March, as Jane had said. This year, so many people were yelling, "We love you, thank you." I went to a gay Pride March in Washington, D.C., and this response was the same, but I never thought that support would be here in Louisville like it was. We used to walk early Saturday mornings on the sidewalks. Now it's in the streets and floats, and it's just fantastic. One true blessing that I'm so grateful for was meeting my husband, David, through Pflag. And I can answer questions later if he wants to tell us.